Hello and welcome back to Penny University, aka Prepper University, as the case may be. So, for those of you who sit there and say in the comments section, hey, is that a robot voice? No, it isn't. That's me. I sound like this. So, this is something that I'm bringing over from Coffee Talk. Now, on Coffee Talk, which is my other channel where I talk about like social/political issues, I do this thing every once in a while where I take the negative comments and I throw them out there for the audience. I take a selection of comments, a handful of things that people said that are stupid, snarky, make no sense, and respond to them, pick on them, whatever suits me when I read it. And some people who watch both channels, that watch Penn University and Coffee Talk, suggested, hey, you know what? You should bring that over to Penny because I think that the subscribers there will get a kick out of it. So we're going to give that a try, and you can go ahead and say in the comment section what you think of adding this to the format. Not that often, maybe like once a month, because I'm not looking for filler to just bog down the channel. So I do have another channel. I pointed that out, Coffee Talk. I'll put a link to it down below if you want to check that out. And I'm also available on DTube. I'm not completely switching over to DTube. I'm really only mirroring on DTube right now because of how hard YouTube hits this channel. This channel doesn't fit the Google agenda. I've mentioned that several times. They give this channel a very hard time. They sanction me all the time. They cut me off from subscribers. Subscribers get unsubscribed, they miss their notifications, I can't get monetized. You get the idea. They do this to me constantly, so I'm mirroring on DTube to make sure the content doesn't disappear. So if you have a DTube account or you've thought about it, you can find me there. I'll put a link to that down below also. So take a look at some of the videos there. Give them a thumbs up just to help me get going if you don't mind. I would appreciate that. So let's go ahead and get started. And this one is on the video about guns, about 5 lies about guns that I put up just recently, which has gotten trolled to death. I disagree with you. Gun bans do work. It really helps to disarm the people before you kill them. So they're suggesting that we should disarm people because we would have to kill them anyway? Is that what they're saying? The syntax of that sentence doesn't make any sense. It really helps to disarm the people before you kill them. Unless they're suggesting I'm going to kill someone, which I'm not intending on killing anyone. If I kill anyone, it'll be in self-defense, hopefully. So gun bans do work. No, I don't believe so. They do work for the governments because there are a lot of examples of governments who have completely disarmed their people and then pounded the hell out of their citizens. So it works really well for the government. What absolute garbage. Perhaps it was written by Putin. This country now has only 3 to 4 guns per 100 people, result 50 to 60 gun deaths per year. US has 101 guns per 100 people, result tens of thousands of gun deaths. Also, guns are used by thieves to help with robberies. By making it illegal for a thief to carry a gun, he can finish up in prison just for the gun. Result, thieves avoid guns and crime is much reduced. This guy doesn't say where he's from, and his statistics are way off. Tens of thousands of gun deaths. So 1,000 people a day are getting shot in the United States. That's not true. It's just not. There are not tens of thousands of gun deaths. Not specifically like that. First of all, and I'm not going to sit there and cite statistics because I'll tell you 2 things about statistics. One, statistics are bullshit. All right, straight up. They lie on both ends. Those who are for or against are going to find statistics are going to fit their needs. But just strictly speaking, besides which you can find this stuff for yourself. You're sitting right in front of the computer. 2/3 of gun deaths in the US are suicides. You're not going to prevent suicides by taking the guns away. They'll find another way to do it if they're that determined. They'll drink gasoline. They'll drink antifreeze. They'll hang themselves. They'll do something. They'll jump out of a window. Taking the guns away isn't going to stop that. Roughly 3% are accidents. roughly. And the rest of it, which is about around 10,000 a year, are a combination of homicides, police shootings, and self-defense. Okay? And how much of that is actual homicide? It is not Afghanistan over here. There is not bodies strewn in the streets. I don't know what kind of propaganda they feed you wherever you live, but it isn't true. I'm not surprised that that's what you heard and that's what you believed, but it's unfortunate that that's how it goes down. Also, making it illegal for a thief to carry a gun so he can finish up in prison just for the gun. You want to turn all gun owners into a felon? Make somebody a criminal just for owning a weapon? Man, that just doesn't fly. I'm sorry. I don't agree with any of that. And this one is also on that same video. And like I said, the 5 Lies video has been trolled to death. If you ever didn't believe that there are people whose job it is, whether they work for the government or for some private industry, to go through social media like on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube and look for videos like that so that they can make anti-comments, look through the comment section on that video, because almost everybody says the exact same thing in a different way. They're either all that brainwashed, and besides which, and I ask this all the time, why do you watch a video you don't like? Why do you watch a video that you don't like, that doesn't agree with you? Or I've got a lot of people on there that are like, I'm from Australia, and that isn't true. Well, if you're from Australia, why are you watching an American video on American gun policy? For all I know, you're in New Jersey. It's all a lie. Anyway, we'll get back to this here. Wait, if Tom wants to buy a gun at Walmart, he does have to have a background check. But if after purchasing it, he wants to sell it to Dick or Harry, he can legally sell it to them without even knowing their names. No checks of any kind. And of course, he's talking about private sale purchases, which is not what I was talking about in the video. What I suggested in the video was that a lot of people have been led to believe you can go to a gun shop or you can go to a gun show and buy a gun without an ID or background check, which is not true. That's what I said. I wasn't talking about private sales in the video. And if you want to get down to that, most gun owners are more responsible than to do something like that. And private gun sales don't happen all that often. They make it sound like people like put a sign in their front yard, gun for sale, and then people come and knock on the door. Hello, I am a stranger and would like to buy a gun. Here is some money. That doesn't happen, okay? Most of the time when a private citizen sells a gun to somebody else, they know who it is. Or they advertise it like at their gun club or something like that and have a conversation with the guy. They don't just randomly sell it to some stranger that they don't even know who the hell they are. All right, it doesn't happen. I'm sorry. I'd rather be effing dead on Doomsday than wasting all your, spelled U-R, time and money prepping. I think they meant to say on. I'd rather be effing dead on Doomsday than wasting all your time and money on prepping. Okay, die. Go ahead, die. These guys are dangerous. This is the idiot who, well, once again, why are you watching, if you don't believe in prepping, why are you watching prepping videos and commenting? Why are you wasting your time and mine and other people who might read through the feeds? If you want to die on Doomsday, go ahead and die. It's one less mouth to feed. And one more people or one more person who is prepared, who stands a chance of surviving because you're not there. So go ahead and roll over and die. Dude, it is amazing the glaring holes you left to declare things as false, things like straw purchases and unlicensed dealers. And again, that's on the 5 Lies About Guns video. First of all, an unlicensed dealer would be an illegal dealer, and a straw man purchase is also illegal. Assuming that you're talking about someone who goes to a gun shop or show because they were sent there to purchase it, to sell to someone else intentionally, kind of like when the kid who's like 16 years old stands out in front of the liquor store, hey mister, can you buy me a 6-pack? That's completely illegal, and so is this. And so no, why would I talk about illegal gun purchases when I am directing in the video that, or pointing out in the video that you do have to go through a process to legally purchase a firearm? You are the one who's making the redirection there. Typical hoarder excuses. Now, this is on another one of the prepper videos. Again, why are you watching a video you don't want to see? Just so you can make a snarky comment. Who cares what you think? Typical hoarder excuses. Most preppers, I mean, there are some preppers who are very hoardish, but most preppers are very neat and organized. They know what they've got, they get it lined up, they got it dated, they know what they're doing. Their homes are not a disaster, they're not a mess. So no, they are not hoarders. You don't know what you're talking about. This one I wish I could show you. It's a whole row of happy face emojis, like a dozen of them. LOL, LOL. It's no wonder this video has so many thumbs down, LOL. Well, with the emojis, you already lost all your credibility. What are you, like 6? All the emojis and the LOLs, I hate that stuff. And the particular video that we're talking about, I don't remember exactly which one it was, but I looked at the numbers on it. It has like 200 thumbs down and like 3,500 thumbs up. So what is your point exactly? What is your point? That makes no sense to me. Railroad ties decompose in about 200 years. A lot of bridges used wood pilings, dumbass. And this is on the video where I'm talking about burying a shipping container. And I said, hey, you know, it's not a good idea to use railroad ties to secure the exterior of a shipping container when you bury it. How do I know that? Because I have a relative who works on a rail gang. Yes, they do break down. Yes, they do rot. All this guy does, all him and his crew does, is knock old ties out and replace them all day long. That's all they do, because they do rot. And when they do, all the chemicals that are supposed to keep them from rotting are toxic. You want to poison the soil all around your structure? Go right ahead. Be my guest. It's an honor and a privilege to make fun of foolish videos like this. Prepping is such a waste of time. Speaking of a waste of time, again, why are you watching videos that you don't like and making snarky comments that pretty much only I'm going to see? Because for the most part, the average viewer doesn't flip through all the comments. They might see the top 2 or 3, maybe they'll respond, but nobody's going to see that comment but you and me, and I'm probably going to ignore it. I'm only bringing it up in this format because I'm kind of picking on you a little bit, really. And it's an honor and a privilege, basically, for you to waste your time. That's very sad for you. Damn, I'd rather just die in the apocalypse, LMAO. Again, go ahead and die. And once again, these are the guys that are really dangerous, because this is he'll be the first one to come begging to you and me, please help me, or do something really desperate to get himself or someone else killed because he wasn't ready. Go ahead and roll over and die. It's one less mouth to feed. Protein in pasta, LMAO noob. And that's on the video about long-term food storages. And yeah, pasta is a good example of a food that could be stored for an extremely long time. And yes, it does contain protein, roughly 7 grams a serving. So who's the noob here? Another one on the 5 lies video. If you believe this crap, you deserve to be killed by a weapon. The Second Amendment can be amended. Could it be amended? Possibly. Should it be? Never. And if basically he's saying, if you believe this crap, you deserve to be killed by a weapon, basically he's saying that if we don't think like he does, we deserve to die. Very Uncle Joe of you. I know some of you know what I meant by that reference. That is a very sinister way of thinking, that everyone who doesn't believe the way you do should just die. You deserve to be killed by a weapon because you don't think the Second Amendment should be amended. And we're the problem, right? It's not just watching, it's having proof to show. And this next one is on the video about surveillance that I just did. I talked about an incident with video surveillance in a parking lot, like in the last video. And the syntax in this sentence is a little hard to follow, but bear with me. It's not just watching, it's having proof to show, because everyone lies. If nobody lied and we're really truthful to one another, then we would not need these things. But you people are so untrustworthy. Your first response is to lie to your fellow man. So yes, you need these things. When you and your society learns not to lie to one another, your society won't need this. All right, basically what he's suggesting is that we need non-stop surveillance everywhere. Everybody should be videotaped and recorded all the time to force them to be as honest as possible. And when they finally learn to be honest, then the people who put that system in place will somehow magically stop using it against us. Utter bullshit. No, we do not need to be watched all the time. First of all, being filmed and recorded all the time will just make people more sneaky, not more honest. Second of all, it can be used for a lot more than just observing people to keep them honest. It can be used against them even when they are being honest. And once again, if everybody suddenly was honest, they're not going to stop using that surveillance equipment. And frankly, the people surveilling you are probably the most dishonest of all. Another one on the same subject. For cost effectiveness and a highly efficient method of capturing this madman regarding Texas bomber is by placing 5,000 more mobile cameras in a day in this area and keeping them rolling to the high crime areas. Big Brother needs to start rolling out the cameras. I can only imagine the number of crime prevention cameras that should be used repeatedly compared to the cost of one space satellite camera to take picture of the heavens while we all live down in here, what appears to be progressing into hell. And yeah, it was sentenced that way. I'm not reading it wrong. Get with the effing program. NASA save lives. Camera everywhere means nothing. Most aren't monitored, some broken, some never worked, some left turned off, some out of focus, some are just fake. A federal camera monitoring military option is one that I would trust before I depend on the CIA, FBI, NSA, DHS, etc. First, he says we need cameras everywhere. Then he says they don't work anyway. Then he says that he basically wants a straight up martial law dystopia, a situation that's literally Orwell's 1984, where everyone's under constant observation from the government. And I guess people just don't understand how dangerous that would be, to be constantly watched, constantly controlled by everyone or by the government, constantly observed, but then claims the cameras don't work anyways. Get with what program? No, I don't want people watching me all the time. I don't care if I'm doing anything wrong or not. Most people aren't. Most people are being perfectly innocent and they're being observed all the time. And just because they haven't committed a crime doesn't mean that the system can't find something wrong with whatever they're doing to get them in trouble, to tax them, to fine them, to give them a citation, to make another law. It's a load of crap. I don't agree with that system at all. But I'll let you off there because I already went longer than I expected to. Please let me know what you think of that. Should I continue to do videos like this on this channel? You can let me know in the comment section down below. I would appreciate it. I'll remind you also that I can be found over on Coffee Talk. You can find a link for that down below. And I can also be found on DTube, and you can find a link for that down below. So let me know what you think. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Give it a thumbs up if you got something out of the video. And if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and check out some of the other content. You may find something you like. And that being said, stay frosty, folks, and thanks for watching.